Let me tell you a story that sounds like a myth, but it's not. In a quiet village in India, a young girl named Anaya was told by her grandmother, "You were born with a gift in your hand." She didn't understand until years later, when life kept opening doors others could barely knock on. One day, a wandering sage noticed her palm and stopped mid-step. "The moon in your hand," he whispered, "is not just a mark. It's a message." That night, Anaya began to truly listen to her intuition, to the quiet nudges of fate, to the energy pulling her towards something greater. If you have a crescent moon or an M on your palm, you're not just marked, you're called. And if you don't answer now, you might miss the moment the universe chose you. There's an old tale from the foothills of the Himalayas about a boy named Shi Heng Yi. He was quiet, often lost in thought, but his grandmother always said he had the sky in his hand. One day, while helping in the market, a wandering mystic paused to examine his palm. The man's eyes widened. "You carry the crescent," he said, pointing to a faint moon-shaped curve near Rihan's lifeline. "And look, an M crosses your fate line. That is no accident. That is a map." At first, Rihan laughed it off. "Just lines," he said. But the mystic shook his head slowly. "Symbols mean nothing if you never ask what they mean. And power means nothing if you never use it." That night, Rihan couldn't sleep. He looked at his hand under moonlight, and for the first time, he didn't see a coincidence. He saw a question. What if the universe was waiting for him to wake up to who he truly was? If you have a crescent moon or an M on your palm, you may have felt that same strange pull, like life is whispering to you, like your steps matter more than you know. But nothing changes until you acknowledge it. These symbols are spiritual blueprints. The crescent represents deep intuition, a mind wired for connection to the unseen. The M has long been linked to leaders, truth-tellers, and destiny chasers. Together, they don't just mark you as unique, they ask something of you. It's not enough to have the mark. You must activate the gift. That means leaning into the very things that scare you, your voice, your vision, your truth. It means asking, "What is my purpose?" and being bold enough to live the answer. Rihan did. He became a renowned healer, not because he studied more, but because he finally believed what was already inside of him. So look at your hand again, not with doubt, but with curiosity. That mark is not an accident, it's an invitation to rise, to awaken, to stop waiting and start becoming. Because once you acknowledge the symbol, you unlock the path, and once you activate the gift, you become unstoppable. If you have a crescent moon or an M on your palm, understand this. It is not just a curious marking, not just a quirk of your skin. It is a signal, a symbol, a signpost from something far greater than coincidence. And your first step is to acknowledge that truth. These markings have shown up on the hands of prophets, healers, warriors, and way showers. Those who didn't just walk through life, but reshaped it. The crescent moon whispers of deep intuition, of dreams that speak in metaphors, of knowing without logic, while the M etched across your palm represents mastery, magnetism, mission. It appears on the hands of those born to influence, to lead, to pierce through illusion and step into legacy. But here's the truth no one tells you. Symbols mean nothing if you don't activate the power behind them. Think about it. How many people live with gifts they never use? How many die with potential they never explored? The markings on your hand are not promises. They are potential. They are dormant seeds, and they grow only when watered with belief and boldness. Acknowledge the symbol, yes, but then do the deeper work. Ask yourself why it's there, what it's pointing to, what you've always felt drawn to but never dared to pursue. These are not just decorative lines. They are a call to action. This is about waking up to your inner voice, sharpening your intuitive edge, and realizing that your very life might be the answer to someone else's prayer. You cannot sit on power and expect peace. You cannot bury your brilliance and still bloom. Activation means claiming your gifts, trusting them, using them, even if no one else sees what you see. Especially then, the universe doesn't put signs on the uncalled. It marks those it has chosen. And if your hand bears the crescent moon or the M, then make no mistake, you are among the chosen. So rise. Look again at your palm, not with doubt, but with purpose. Because that mark didn't appear by accident. It appeared to awaken you. And when you finally answer that call, when you stop denying what you were born with, you don't just change your life, you ignite your destiny. In a world that never stops shouting, where every screen screams for your attention and every voice tries to tell you who to be, the greatest power you will ever discover is the ability to silence the noise and tune into the whisper within. The quiet, steady voice that doesn't demand but guides. If you have a crescent moon or an M on your palm, that whisper is even more sacred, more insistent, because you were born with a built-in compass, a divine frequency that speaks not in chaos, but in stillness. The noise of the world is designed to distract you from your purpose, your intuition, your power, but your true clarity is hiding in silence, in those sacred moments where the mind softens and the soul begins to speak. When you unplug from the expectations, the pressure, the performance, and simply listen, not to what the world says you should do, but to what your spirit knows you must do. You start to hear instructions meant only for you. That whisper is the voice of your highest self, your future self, your divine self. It knows your path, it knows your pain, and it knows your potential. But it will never fight to be heard. It waits for you to be still enough to receive it. Tuning into it might look like morning meditation, long walks without a phone, journaling at dawn, or simply breathing deeply in the middle of chaos. But however you do it, you must make silence a priority, not a luxury. Because every time you silence the noise, you reclaim your power. Every time you listen to the whisper, you align with your truth. This is not about escaping the world. It's about remembering who you are within it. The crescent moon on your palm marks you as someone with spiritual sensitivity, and the M signifies the ability to master intuition. But neither gift can awaken until you choose stillness over stimulation. So pause, breathe, go inward, turn down the volume of the outside world and lean into the frequency that was etched into your soul before you ever spoke a word. That whisper knows your next step, your real calling, your true voice. The noise will never stop, but neither will your power. Once you finally start listening to it, you're not meant for the ordinary. Those words aren't flattery, they're a reminder, a spiritual wake-up call etched directly into your palm in the form of a crescent moon or an unmistakable M mark that has appeared on the hands of change makers, visionaries, and people who were never meant to blend into the background of life. If you carry this symbol, then ordinary will never satisfy your soul, because you were born with an extra layer of awareness, a deeper pull toward purpose, and a fire that won't be extinguished by routine or mediocrity. You've likely felt it your whole life. This restless energy, this sense that you were designed for something more, something meaningful, something most people might not even understand. That's not arrogance. That's alignment trying to speak through you. People like you don't come into the world to play it safe. You come to shake things up, to elevate rooms simply by walking into them, to turn pain into power, and to turn your voice into a vibration that changes hearts and shifts atmospheres. But too often, those born for greatness settle for comfort, for approval, for belonging in circles that were never meant to contain them, and in doing so they dim the very light they were born to spread. If you have these marks, it means your soul agreed to carry more, to lead more, to feel more, and yes, sometimes to suffer more, but always in service of something higher. Your life will never feel peaceful if you're pretending to be average. You weren't designed to clock in, numb out, and shrink down. You were made to speak boldly, love deeply, and create courageously, and rise relentlessly. And every time you ignore that inner knowing, Every time you silence that voice that says, there's more for you, a part of your spirit goes quiet. But here's the truth. Your greatness isn't waiting to be